Folks, I've been away on a very unsettling vacation. I went to this weird village out in the middle of nowhere, and there were these people that were just randomly attacking me, and then a bell went off, and then everything was fine. And then I went to GameStop and picked up Resident Evil 4 Remake. Alright, so all jokes aside, I went to GameStop and I picked up Resident Evil 4 Remake, and I am late to the party. I am very well overdue to play this amazing remake. Resident Evil and Capcom have just been killing it with their remakes lately, but I finally got around to playing the remake to probably the best Resident Evil game in the entire series. Now, what are my thoughts on the remake? Because that's what we're here for. That's what you guys want to know about what this game is like, especially in 2024. Is it still a fun game to get? Is it still a fun game to play? And I can tell you without a doubt, this is one of the best, not only remakes, but one of the best PlayStation 5 games that you can get right now. I am blown away by how they improved on everything that made the original so special, so unique, so fun, and so just replayable. And they expanded on that, in not only in like the graphical fidelity of just how good looking the game looks, but also in the sounds, in the environments. I mean, even down to when you're coming into the village for the first time. In the original, you come in and it's daytime, which is almost unheard of in a Resident Evil game. It's typically set in the nighttime. At least that's how the first three games were. And when the original Resident Evil 4 game came out, you were out in the daytime, but it still felt very unsettling and weird. And so it immediately subverted your expectations of what to expect in a Resident Evil game. Not only to mention that there are no traditional zombies in this game, and that the setting is not in a city or in a mansion. It's out in a remote village in a different country. And so just the whole introduction to the game just completely subverted your expectations to what to expect for the rest of the game. Well, this game just did it again in the intro. And so instead of coming in the daytime, now you're coming in the nighttime. And the way that they redid the area and they expanded on it and made it so much more interesting with all of the different practical lighting effects that they had going on, and the moonlight coming in through the shadow of the trees, and just, oh, man, it was just, that's just the intro. That's just the first 5 minutes of the game. Plus, even before you get to that, you're getting this new cutscene that sort of shows that this is the same Leon from the Resident Evil 2 remake, and showing, what he's been up to in the 6 years since Resident Evil 2 to Resident Evil 4. And it's great because I remember playing the Resident Evil 2 remake before this game came out and thinking, how are they really going to pull it off with this younger, more youthful, hopeful looking Leon Kennedy that, is in short amount of time is eventually going to be, this really just crazy martial artist that can roundhouse kick and kill, different people. How are they going to be able to translate that into Resident Evil 4 in the remake of that? Because we all knew that was going to happen. And they did it. You can tell that this is the same Leon from Resident Evil 2 over here to Resident Evil 4. And the cutscene just kind of helps to, meld the two together to kind of show that this is the same person. I mean, obviously it looks the same person. They're even using scenes from Resident Evil 2 in that intro. And so you can very clearly tell that this is the same Leon. I mean, it's not like there's multiple different Leons out there, but it's like the fact that that Leon was done so well and so likable and so just personable in Resident Evil 2 that we now have a much older, cooler looking Leon Kennedy. And it actually makes me very hopeful for Resident Evil 6 to come back to Leon again, because Resident Evil 6 was not that good. I'm just being straight up. I mean, that was the one Resident Evil game that I have not finished to date. And yeah, it wasn't that good. But it would be great to see a remake done more properly, maybe even like splitting that game up into 3 games, because of course there were 3 campaigns going on. Of course, they'd probably have to add a lot more content or, do something like that, or maybe just focus on Leon. That's another possibility. Capcom, just, hire me. Go ahead. I'm here. I'm available. But no, for real though, this game is incredible. I mean, what they've done with Leon is great. What they've done with the setting and again resubverting your expectations with, the intro being at night and just coming into this much more darker, serious take on this game, but done so tastefully well. And for those wondering, if you didn't know by now, Leon does still have his iconic one-liners. Some of them didn't carry over from the original game, but that's okay. The one-liners that he uses are funny and hilarious when they are, but the delivery of them kind of fit the situation. I mean, the situation is still like pretty out there and pretty insane situation and over the top in its own right, but it is a more grounded Resident Evil 4 than the original Resident Evil 4. And so it's fun to see some of the changes that they did and some of the differences between the original and now, and seeing some of the changes that they made and also some of the things that they've kept in there. I mean, it is the same game, it is the same story, but they've expanded on it a little bit more, and they've changed some things to help keep it a little bit more fresh and interesting. And the tone shift of making it a darker, more serious Resident Evil 4 experience is really good, and I think that helps to keep the overall theme consistent with all of the remakes, because I was kind of worried about Resident Evil 4 Remake being, while the original was still very good, it was very out there, and not everyone enjoyed it, obviously speaking. And it's just, I didn't want to see such a sudden tone shift from the serious Resident Evil 2s and 3s, how good they were and how, just realistic they felt, and then coming into like a just kind of really over the top and just like head scratching moments from Resident Evil 4, the original, and just that tone there. So it's great that they kind of kept the tone consistent. And so because of that, I'm really excited for the eventual Resident Evil 5 remake. It'll be nice to see that more realized into maybe the vision that they were hoping people would take it as. There's fans of Resident Evil 5, there are, and this isn't a review about Resident Evil 5, but it's just not as well received as maybe they were hoping it would be, and so it'll be great to see them take another crack at it to help fully realize their vision, maybe in a different way, and maybe taking some of the notes of some of the things they could have improved upon in the past and improving it now with this remake. So it'll be great to see that. Also, it'll be great to see Resident Evil 6. Something about Resident Evil 6 remake, whenever that happens, probably like, 5-6 years at this point in the future from now. Whenever that happens, I'm just really excited to see particularly Resident Evil 6. Maybe because I just never beat it. Maybe because it's just a continuation of Leon's story. Who knows? Maybe it's a combination of those, but I'm really looking forward to that. But again, what I really loved about Resident Evil 4 Remake is how realized that it felt, and how it's almost like if you played Resident Evil 4 20 years ago, 21 years ago, however long ago the original was. It's like if you played that game when it originally came out and you just never played it again, with your rose-tinted glasses or rose-colored glasses, whatever the phrase is, where you're looking back at something and your memory of it is way better and way more detailed than what it actually was. I feel like this game is like that of what I would have remembered the original to be like. I mean, I've played the HD remake or remaster that they did, and so I played that, and so obviously that was more recent, and so that's my main memory that I'm going off of now. But it's just it has the heart and spirit of Resident Evil 4, but it has it in a modern sense. And so, without spoiling anything, that's just the best way to describe this game. And so if you liked the original Resident Evil 4, you are not going to be disappointed in this game, even though it doesn't have the over-the-top kind of campiness to it that the original did. It still has elements of it that you can appreciate, and it just, if you played the original, you're clearly older now. I mean, if you played the original back when it came out, you're clearly older now, and you can appreciate the more serious tone that they took. And so, again, I'm just floored with this remake. I am late to the party, but if you are thinking about picking up this game, just know that it is incredible. And that's my honest thoughts of what I think of Resident Evil 4 in 2024. So if you like this video and you want to see more, make sure you click on either one of these two videos flashing on the screen here. I'll see you in those videos. Peace.